Namaste, everyone. It's a beautiful morning here, just outside of Orlando, Florida. And just came out to a spot near to our home. Just did some morning meditation and Sandhya, and just being with nature. The sun is just about risen. You can hear the birds. And just be one with this amazing planet that we get to enjoy. It's a bit cold this morning, 45 degrees. When I left the house, a little bit lower than what us Floridians are used to, but nevertheless, just a morning of appreciation and just being able to be one with nature. And this morning, I've been doing some reflections in my meditation and just overall been having a lot of thoughts going through my mind. We just celebrated Thanksgiving, and the past few days I've been spending time with a family here in Central Florida who unfortunately had a tragic loss that they suffered. They lost a daughter very young, 22 years, and just brought a lot of perspective on things. And one of the goals of just me sharing some of my experience on this journey, and especially virtually, I wanted to share perspectives from that of a Pandit, especially one that here is living here in America. And a lot of times people think that, pundits are supposed to have all the answers and, provide guidance. And a lot of time that is the goal that I know of myself and a lot of other pundits that I know and I look up to and respect. They do that, and they do a very good job at that. But also in this journey, I wanted to kind of humanize the pundit as well, and to share perspectives on this journey of a human being on their own spiritual journey, with lessons and everything that comes along the way. One of the things that I've been reflecting on these past few days, since I found out about this passing of this young lady. I did not know her. I just came to be introduced to the family from someone that I have done a havan for in the past, and they reached out saying this family needed some guidance and assistance with the Antyeshti and Last Rites and all of that. We're actually performing the Antyeshti in a couple of hours here this morning. Last night we had the viewing, and for those of you who might not be familiar with this process, especially from one of with the Vedic Sanathan perspective, typically what happens is there's one night of viewing where we gather at the funeral home and we sing bhajans and we chant mantras, and it's also a time for family members and friends of that departed soul to share their experience, offer their sentiments, and things like that. So that's what we did last night. And then previously to that, as you get to the viewing, and ultimately, usually the viewing is right before the Antyeshti, which are the last rites, as per the Vedic customs. But we'll usually have wakes, and at wakes, we'll also have music and bhajans and uplifting messages, and just music plays such an important part in our lives, our world. You can just hear this morning, there's music all around. The cars are passing, the birds are singing. You can just hear it all around. So music, especially in a time of loss, helps to soothe the soul and to bring about a sense of peace. So we rely on music and mantras quite a bit in these times. But last night was a very beautiful evening of prayer and bhajans. And as we made our way through the night, we led up to the eulogy, which was given by the mother of the young girl. And she stood up there with her husband, her daughter, and her son-in-law, and delivered a eulogy that, as just a normal bystander, and I'm sure many people in that crowd yesterday just felt so sorry and just felt the tragedy that had befallen this family. And it's so easy to almost sometimes feel pity, and naturally, whenever we see a loss in a family, no matter what age, but especially for a young person and a parent having to put a child to rest and to perform those last rites, it can be even more difficult. And while the human side of me definitely felt that, I felt that sympathy for the mother, the father, and their family, I also felt an incredible amount of inspiration through the strength that was being projected by this mother. Matri Devo Bhava. I tell you, our scriptures say, the mother, honor thy mother as an earthly god. Honor all mothers as earthly gods. And it was incredible to see that strength being displayed. And all throughout last night, and even through this morning, as I woke up and just started to prepare myself for the Antyeshti, and just to move through the day and getting up to this point to do some morning meditation and Sandhya, I started to think, our scriptures tells us so much about action, and we know that karma is a dominating principle in Sanatan Dharma. And many times people think karma is just what goes around comes around, or karma can be a negative action or negative consequences. But karma is everything. Karma is all the action, everything that we do, the good, the bad, the actions of this life, the actions of past lives, and the repercussions, the rewards, the consequences that are being played out right now as we burn through the negative karma, and as we reap the rewards of the positive karmas from our actions in the past. But karma in itself is a lesson for all of us, and especially when we witness it from perspective of others. Now, no one wants to be in that situation of a family that has to put a young daughter to rest and to do their Antyeshti. When I say rest, there's the soul never rests. So, I mean, in terms of just performing these last rites and having to, after this Antyeshti, move on with your lives. No one wants that for anyone, and whenever we see that, we do feel that pain going through that family. But last night, as I watched this mother deliver a beautiful eulogy with strength, it was a source of inspiration. Because as we can see this family dealing with a tragedy, we also saw a lesson for all of us, for every human being. And that lesson is something that we ought to have reflected on a couple of days ago at Thanksgiving. The Sanskrit word for gratitude is kritagnyata. Krita means the action, and nya is the knowledge or the awareness, and ta is the state of being. So in a literal sense, it is the acknowledgement and the awareness of something that has happened or something that has happened to us or is happening to us. And every moment in life is one of reflection and one in taking gratitude in every single moment. And looking at that crowd yesterday, as a pundit, you get a front row, I guess back row in a sense, because usually behind the person that's speaking up at the podium. And I saw tears in the eyes of so many. There wasn't a dry eye in the room. And I also thought that as people leave that funeral parlor and they think about what an awful tragedy has happened to this family, they'll also see a family that was unwavering in their support of each other, in the love of each other. And while maybe not the gratitude of that moment, maybe they hadn't reflected on it, but the gratitude of being able to do this for their daughter. And I often think about, sometimes God tests us, and sometimes God tests others, and others have to go through the burden of these struggles and the burden of these difficulties in life. And by them going through these difficulties, and maybe you might feel this at some point in your life, where you feel like life has dealt you some unfortunate series of events or some challenges and even some tragedies maybe. And while we, as pundits, and me certainly, I don't have all the answers. No human being has all the answers. We can just try to take the lessons of the scriptures and the bits of perspective that we gain through this spiritual journey and apply it to the best of our knowledge. But we can all see that, in a way, the struggles, the triumphs over challenges of others is a way to inspire us. Inspire us to be grateful for, first of all, the life that we have and the ability to continuously perform actions for our benefit, for our upliftment. And things happen every day. Tragedies and horrible acts happen every day to people all around this world. And that is the nature of this world. This world will never stop having these unfortunate events. Everything that happens that we view as an unfortunate or challenging event is a reminder that this world and this material nature and this material existence even of a human being is never meant to be our permanent home, is never meant to be what we only dwell on and what we're only caught up in. But we have a greater purpose, and we have a greater, more divine, more eternal nature that in a brief moment of time, in a few years, while it might seem a lot, there's just so much around me personally that I see. We are performing the Antyeshti for a 22-year-old today. On Monday, my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, is celebrating his 93rd birthday. You can't explain certain things, and you can't explain why things happen. But you have to take every single moment as an opportunity to be grateful, an opportunity to reflect and to truly appreciate everything that we have and every opportunity that we have to connect to our true purpose, to connect to God, to just overall be grateful and let our people know how much they mean to us. And the people that truly matter are the ones that will help us when times feel so unbearable. And when times feel the most difficult, the only way to overcome that is by looking within and having moments of inner reflection and introspection of our true nature. God exists in every single one of us. Our souls are divine entities from that Param Atma, that supreme soul, that energy of the universe. And I know this is probably a very heavy message for an early morning, and some of you might be waking up and hearing this. But if you had a Thanksgiving where you were surrounded by love and you were surrounded by family, and you took a moment to reflect on all the things that you can be grateful for, then please keep that in your mind. Don't let this just pass with this Thanksgiving alone and forget it until next Thanksgiving. Hold on to those feelings of gratitude. And if you, like this family, spend Thanksgiving in a difficult position or with difficult thoughts of maybe feeling isolated, maybe questions more than reflections of gratitude, then know that this is all part of the journey of life. And through the strength and support of each other and the people that are around you, and even if you don't feel that love, you don't feel that support, and you're not getting that from anyone physically, or maybe you're having difficulty with families or a loved one or a spouse or children or parents, just take a moment to reflect inward. Just sit, offer a prayer to God, and just have a conversation with that divine entity, and He'll guide you through it. And reach out. There is someone in your life. You may not know it You may not feel it, but there is someone that is there, can be there. Just take that opportunity to reach out. And again, just some morning reflections in meditations of a pundit's mind, I guess. I don't know. The sun is just shining so beautifully. Feel the warmth of this amazing creation, and this is gratitude itself. Oh, maybe that's definitely something that you can do. If you're feeling down, if you had a tough Thanksgiving, a Thanksgiving of loneliness, maybe, just go spend some time in nature. Just be one with the environment, and everything that you need is just all around you, all around the trees, the clean air, the animals, everything. It's just an opportunity to connect with this creation around us. So I hope that you all have a blessed day, and wherever you're watching this message from, know that no matter how difficult life gets, no matter how much challenges get thrown your way, know that you're never alone. You always have the support of that divine, almighty, all-powerful, all-pervading God. And no matter what faith or scripture or beliefs you follow, God lives within you. That divine lives within you. And the more that we can appreciate that permanent existence of ourselves, the more that we can find the little bits of joy and little bits of happiness to get us through all of life's challenges. So, yeah. Take care, everyone. Take care of each other. And again, we can all be the light, just like the beautiful sun shines its light and its radiance on all of us. And we're all better for it. You can be that light for someone. You can spread your light and share your light with the world. Pradipaha Bhava. Namaste, everyone, and take care.